Welcome to another episode of Chat GRC on the Blue-Lusional podcast, where myself and Casey interview a new grassroots candidate every single week leading up to the midterms. It is midterm season. It is primary season. Sir, let's get into it. Who are you? What are you running for?
Oh, who am I? I'm just a guy. No, my name's Case Norton. I'm a father of two and a film industry worker for the last almost 20 years, and I'm running for Congress in Georgia's 7th Congressional District.
We're
Perfect.
still in the South. We're
Perfect.
still in the South.
Still in the South, guys. We
It's a
took
big place.
for last week.
I-
We are loyal to the South. Okay, we are hitting all of
Mhm.
you. No stone unturned between Georgia.
Don't ignore it.
Cannot ignore them. Those are the ones we're trying to flip. And so you already introduced yourself. So now we want to know why you're running in this cycle.
So the funniest thing is I didn't really know what the qualifications were to become person in Congress, right? I thought there was probably an age limit, probably you had to live in the state, but I honestly thought you might need some sort of experience regardless, whether that's at a state level or at a local level. I was sorely mistaken. And so about a year ago, actually, our representative in Georgia 7th, Mr. Rich McCormick, he held his last in-person town hall, which that's kind of uncalled for. We should be having them at least quarterly, if not monthly. So one of the things that happened was his town hall went viral. I mean, this was in Roswell, Georgia. It was a packed house. I heard about it after the fact, unfortunately, but that's okay. And I realized that he's not being accountable to his constituents in any way. If they have a question, he'd scoff at them or he'd laugh in their face. And so that I think was like a very small spark when I saw that whole video of like, that doesn't look right there. And then kind of internalizing everything and just going back through my career, I grew up in the film industry. Since I was a teenager, I just wanted to be in the film industry and I started doing it. I just learned how to do it. I kind of did it on the job and got through that way. And it's been 19 years. It was how we made a living. It was how my wife and I met on set, and it's how, it was everything that I wanted. And then COVID hit, push came to shove. We started getting priced out of Los Angeles at the time. And so we wanted to come somewhere else, and we ended up settling in Atlanta. And it was about a year and a half or a year later where we had multiple back-to-back strikes that completely decimated our industry. So we had the writer's strike, we had the SAG-AFTRA strike, and then we had the talkings of a director's strike, but they ended up getting a deal. And then the crew was the last in line. And so we ended up getting a deal. We didn't have to strike, thankfully, but by that time it didn't matter because they realized that they can shoot overseas, pay people less money, pay the crew less money, and they don't have to pay into employer health insurance plans over there because of things like, state-sponsored healthcare, these little things.
Yeah.
And so, really we were left waiting it out. We were left waiting for writers to get a deal. We were left with SAG waiting to get a deal. They said, they'll have our back. But as soon as they got a deal, writers can write from anywhere. They can write from Idaho. They can write from Kentucky. They can write from, wherever. Actors and directors, they're going to go on set regardless. They're needed. Crew members, sorry, we're going to hire local. So that's been hitting us. We had folks in my industry lose their health insurance, lose their houses, lose their marriages. Some even lost their lives. And honestly, I couldn't sit back anymore and just let this happen to my family. And so I looked up what are the qualifications, and I realized it's the bar is unfortunately in hell. It's very low. It's a 25 years old for Congress, and you have to live in the state. You don't even have to live in the district.
Yeah.
I'm running in my district because I care about this district, and it's where it's where we first moved here and where we will continue to live. But I couldn't sit by on the side anymore. And with the productions and my career sort of taking a little bit of not a pause, but a downturn a little bit, I realized that this could be a shot, especially in this election, like we've seen in other state races and special elections where it's a blue sweep. You might have a -15 end up being a +10 or a +12.
Yeah.
+30.
Anything is possible, right? So seeing all that and seeing just all the fellow candidates, it makes me really excited to know that I'm at least able to give the folks in my district a different option than who we currently have.
Yeah.
I like the perspective of hearing it from somebody in film because I think when people like think about film, they just like automatically like generalize, okay, like Hollywood, like bougie, like
Yeah.
they're like Hollywood,
Mhm.
oh, the elite. But it's like, no, there are working class people
Yeah.
that are working on these films too. Like it's not just Brad Pitt and like that's
Mhm.
it. Like he's not shooting.
Yeah.
He's not doing all of the behind the scenes stuff.
Right.
Mm.
And he's not doing the hand model. He's not doing the hand close-up shots. He's not, he's not recording audio. He's not doing all these things.
Mhm.
And that's such a good point because, there was an onslaught of people on the internet saying basically what you were saying, where it's like, oh, well, they're fine. They work in Hollywood. And it's like, no, you have people that are
I
like
remember that.
myself. I'm on 3 different shows starting yesterday. I was on one yesterday, I was on one today, and I'm on one for the next 5 days next week. And then after that, I don't have work lined up.
Yeah.
So it's very
Yeah.
sporadic. There might be months where I work 31 out of 31 days. There might be months where I don't work and everything in
Mhm.
between. And so, you know, we are the working class. We're not normal working class, but we are working class because
Yeah.
we still work paycheck to paycheck. A lot of us, we still work W-2 jobs. Some of us do 1099 and we got to have write-offs or whatever. So it's, we're not all millionaires.
Yeah.
In fact, it's a
Yeah.
very, very small percentage
Yeah.
of us are. And we all, we're all hopping from show to show and hoping that shows don't leave the state if not the country.
Yeah, and we're witnessing it. We're witnessing shows be canceled left and right, talk shows be canceled,
Yeah.
you know, when budgets get cut, a lot of shows are
Mhm.
on the front lines. A lot of these big
Mhm.
networks will cut whatever show they want so that they don't lose money. So
Mhm.
there's so much politics just in film and TV. There's
Everything's
politics
political.
are insane. So I'm
Everything
actually,
political.
excited to see somebody like you go from like the politics of film to actual politics because I actually think it'll be a very smooth
Yeah.
I
for you.
Yeah.
I kind of think so too. You know, I deal with like you said, like I'm a camera assistant by trade, so I pull focus, I keep everything in focus or not everything and very selective things in focus. So I'm very behind the scenes technical. There is a lot of politics too. We have to deal with every single department for the most part. We
Mhm.
have to ensure that we know what they need to get the job done so that we can come in and do what we have to do, right? And I don't think that we're seeing that in politics. I think it's a lot of, oh well, I did my part and so I'm just gonna keep
Yeah, so
keep going and do whatever. It's done. My part's done. Like, no, you have to keep collaborating with different
Yeah.
people in different departments and across the
yeah.
aisle and up
Mhm.
the chamber sometimes. So
Yeah.
Yeah, I think
Speaking on
it's
speaking on that though, so put your teacher hat on. What does a
Mhm.
congressperson do and how could you use that influence on the local level?
So I actually read an audio or I listened to an audiobook. I was actually really curious to kind of get an inside look on someone who's been on Capitol Hill and worked as a staffer for several congresspeople. And so the book was great and I learned actually there's so many different job types. There's so many different aspects of the job. Not only are you a representative to however many people are in your district, in my case it's like 840,000 people, which is a lot, but you're
Mhm.
the point person between the federal level and between what's happening in your district, right? Whether that's one city, several counties, or half the state. And so you are the person that is the in between. Like you know what's going on in DC. You're able to translate that into how that's going to affect people on a day to day basis. Not only that, you're a lawmaker, and I think that's one of the coolest things about it is that I love getting things done. I love learning. I love figuring out ways. I mean, I'm a problem solver by trade, essentially. So I
Mhm.
love getting in there with fresh perspective and seeing different ways we can do this. And so that's what I'm most excited about. That's probably the job title that I'm most excited about is being a lawmaker that I can actually affect change that can help people and not only the people in my district, but on a national level. Right.
Mhm.
And so outside of that, you need constituent services. You have to be just available to your people. You cannot win the seat and then just ghost your whole district, which many
Yeah.
people do,
Yeah.
unfortunately, including ours. And so,
Mhm.
and I would say those are the main outlets, as far as oversight as well. And that's one of the committees that I really want to get onto.
Sit.
Oh,
But
yeah.
they are the checks and balances, right? And so everything flows through them and they should be able to kind of filter out what needs to get done. But we're not seeing that happen today, unfortunately. We're seeing things take forever or not get done at all and pushed to the
Mhm.
wayside. And so, yeah, those are the many kind of hats that I will be wearing when we win. And
Yes.
Oh yeah.
so
Mhm.
that's what I mean. We're looking forward to it. Like this is a totally new avenue for me. Like I've been behind the scenes for so long, but I really do feel like you were saying that there might be a clean changeover
I
between
think
the
so.
two, and I think it'll be a fresh perspective, and so hopefully my constituents see that.
Yes, I think they will because
They better.
the reason we ask this question for every single candidate, this is a across the board question we ask everyone, is because so many people this past year have had to actually learn about politics. You learn
Yep.
about it in school, and don't get me wrong, I'm sure at some point they taught us what a congressperson should do, but half the time we're not listening because we are 12 and
Yeah, we're in fifth
know
grade. We don't care.
don't care. So a lot of people, that's that on politics. They don't care to know. They maybe go vote, for the president every 4 years, but they actually don't understand. And if you asked somebody that didn't know, what they're going to tell you is, oh, that's the person that's in DC that like
Mhm.
writes laws. And it's like, yes, but they're also your work. They work for you. They're in your
And
district.
they're your neighbor. They're close-ish. I
Yeah.
mean,
They're
go see them.
And so I think the trend that you said is that what's trendy now is for, the nepo babies of politics to get into office and live in DC and
Mhm.
never go back to their district. And because of COVID and the like telephone town halls where they don't even have to be there now, some of them just do that. Some of them don't do
Filter the
Yeah.
comments.
We had that.
that.
That
Like they
I don't even get me started on that. Yeah,
they
that's
are
insane.
so far away, and then somebody like you is like, "Hey, we are struggling over here. Anybody wanna come here and clean this up?" And they're like, "No, can do. I'm in DC. I'm over here. Can't come over
Yeah.
there." People need to learn that not on that your congressperson is not just in DC. Your congressperson
Mhm.
should be not only saving the country at this point with where we're at, but should also be saving your district and your
Mhm.
constituents and should be active in the community in whatever way they can be, physically or to your point, working with uh, local election board or all the boards, local
Mhm.
boards all over, activist groups, whatever you can to
Yeah.
see
Yeah.
what's happening there. It's gotten out of control. It is out of
They don't do
control.
shit.
The list
They
is
don't work.
exponentially huge now.
It's crazy. The other in Georgia, we were talking to Bonner, and he said that the person he was running against has been in that seat since like 2001 and hadn't held a town hall since 2009.
Oh
And he's
my
like in his
that's
70s, I
He's
think.
like
He like can't
wow.
literally
walk.
1 foot in the grave.
He's in a wheelchair, and he that's why he won't show up and make
He literally
appearances because he doesn't.
physically
Yeah, he's like they
I'm
can't
this
see
close to
me,
making a constitutional amendment, guys. That's bullshit. That's BS.
bro. Listen, these are the things I think about when I'm like unloading the dishwasher. I'm like, okay, we need constitutional amendments, we need term limits. Okay, I don't know how many constitutional amendments we're gonna need. Like, I'm like,
just
no, this shit's not working.
Mhm. It's
It's just not working.
Mhm.
so I'm glad to hear that your stance is I'm gonna be in DC, but I'm gonna be in my district.
Yeah,
We'll
I'm
see.
not raising my kids in DC. Ain't gonna
Yes.
happen.
And because you are in the district and
Yeah.
obviously, your opponents are not, um, how have the constituents in your district been affected, in the past 7, 8 months by everything this administration is trying to do in Project 2025?
Where do I start? So
Mhm.
21% of Georgia's 7th congressional district was not even born in the United States. That might not have any bearing on their status
Mhm.
today. That might be half, that might be whatever it might be. But the fact that we have uh, such a large percentage, that's over 1/5 of our people here,
Yeah.
of the people in our district are, might have an issue with ICE if they were to ever be stopped by them.
Right.
We have ICE in our district all the time. Not all the time. It's thankfully it's not as bad as say Minneapolis or other places, but we do have it in several places. And our representative is welcoming. He doesn't really care. He's welcoming to the detention centers that are being proposed and possibly even shifted over to being set up for these detention centers. And he's all happy for that. And so outside of ICE, I mean, just cost of living. Everyone's feeling it. You go to the store and half the time, and I hear this from people as well, and I've even felt this myself, where there have been times where, depending on when I'm waiting for a check, I got to decide whether I'm going to have medicine for the month starting this week, or my family's going to eat, right? And I always choose my family over me, but that's where it happens, right? I ended up putting myself second or last when I need to, and I know a lot of folks can feel the same way about that.
Mhm.
Third, I would say that basic just accountability and transparency and accessibility. I know it's kind of a lot, but accountability and the fact that we don't have a representative who is accountable. He doesn't show up. No one answers the phone. You don't want any callbacks. You won't get a letter written back to you like you would from Senator Ossoff or Warnock. They actually do that. I have 2 written letters from them. They're great.
Mhm.
Yeah. Nice.
Transparency, we get a weekly email from McCormick where it's like McCormick on the move or whatever,
Okay.
and it's the same outlets. It's Fox and it's Newsmax, and it's just these talking
Gross.
points, the same parroted Republican talking points. And I even hate saying the word Republican because that sounds so like it just sounds like I'm coming at them, but I'm not.
Yeah.
But what they say, and this is a lot of folks, is they'll say, "Oh, the radical left or the crazy liberals," and like you're just alienating half of your constituents
Oh,
when you
we
say
want
things like
universal
that.
health care.
Just care about all of us, right? And so, that's the transparent, and so that's the transparency action of it. And so what I want to bring is being available, right? Whether that's on social media, whether that's by phone or email, I want to be as available as I can to people. So if I leave a meeting or if I learn something that people are a little, iffy about or have questions about that I can disclose to them, I want to be an outlet for them. I want to be able to tell them, whether that's directly in a video while I'm walking to my next meeting, and I blast it to TikTok and I go in my little hole for another hour or whatever. But there's so many different aspects of things that people in my district have felt. And one of the biggest ones is the town hall is not being available, not being able to be seen in person, right? That accessibility is gone. It's our guy got a new office and they're never there. So it's just, what are we doing? It's frustrating.
Fraud,
say the
waste, and
least.
abuse. That's what it
Fraud,
sounds
waste,
like to me. That's what it sounds
Yeah.
like to me.
Set up in there. If I were you, here, I'll get set up in here and get ready for me to win and get my stuff
I
in
don't-
there.
Oh, I've already said, get your stuff out of my office.
I'd be measuring, I'd be and slowly putting my stuff in there. What are they gonna do? They don't go
Right.
there.
Light a candle on your way out.
She doesn't even go here.
She doesn't even go here. And I will say that, most of the grassroots candidates we interview are very heavily online. They've been using the power of
Mhm.
social media to get their names out there. And I will say that you are one of the people or one of the candidates that is always on our For You page. Always.
Good.
Like,
Yeah.
you are on there, you are making content, you are putting everything into it with the time you do have. So I think that Devin and I can clearly tell anyone who's listening that's in your district that you will be reachable on social
Yeah,
media
thank you.
because
And just
we
like
know
you're a
you're
real
working
person.
and you have kids. So
Yeah.
the fact that you're able
I
to
just-
have any energy while running a campaign to still be as active as you are on social media just means that you care so much about letting people know you're accessible and that you hear them. Yeah, our stamp of approval.
Well, thank you. Seriously.
You will hear from him online.
Yeah. Yeah. And we know how much that of a pain in the ass that is
Mhm.
to do as
Mhm.
making much like content.
Yeah.
Y si habla español y necesito hablar conmigo, está bien.
Okay.
Puedo hablar
Come on
un
now,
poquito
come
español.
on
So I
now.
actually did a video and it went really well. So I want to speak on this for a second. I'm not just like gloating, but I took Spanish my whole life. I'm a California boy. I speak a little. I can get it down, but sometimes it takes me a while to like Windows 95.
Seasoned.
But so I made a video speaking to Kilmar Garcia because he had just joined TikTok or whatever.
Yes.
And like,
Yes,
so I made a thing and I spoke in Spanish and it went really well. And like, I was actually getting a lot of people that were like, can you help me with my asylum case? And I was like, not yet, but thank you.
Please.
And I would try to like help them out. But seriously, I know there's a lot of people in my district that speak Spanish. And so I want to let them know that I'm more than willing to hear them out in their native language. So
That's huge. That's huge. That's huge. Okay.
That's
the man's
accessibility, right?
bilingual, all right. Come on now.
Bilingual. I'm like 1.5.
That's better than most people.
Yeah,
Yeah,
some people
true.
can't speak most people
None.
here
I
can't
say
speak English
I
properly.
say hola with a little paprika, and people are like, "Huh?
They were like, "Oh my god, this white man."
Are you from?"
They do a double take.
Yeah. Are you from
Oh,
Jalisco?
He's got a little sazon on him. Okay. Oh, I did wanna ask though, I don't know if you have an answer for this right now, but, like, I feel like Georgia's getting hit the hardest with the data centers. I feel like it's Georgia and Tennessee. Is there, like, a way to like, a definitive way for them to like, not be able to implement those for somebody
So
in Congress?
it's my understanding, and I'm learning every day. I will be the first to admit that I learn every day. I'm always a student. I don't know everything,
yeah.
but it's my
Yeah.
understanding that for some of the data centers, as far as the land goes, I believe most of that might be countywide or maybe
Mhm.
state. But when there's water involved, especially if it's like a federal thing, then that's where it gets into our territory. So what
Uh,
I'm trying to understand, and I haven't had time to really go down this rabbit hole, but I do know that we've had people in my district that I think we had a one proposed maybe in Forsyth County or maybe in one of our other counties, and I think it got tabled. But I don't know. I know that they need a lot of water, right? And so water is an
yeah.
issue with the people that live there,
Mm.
as well as, any other power source that they eat up, that these data centers eat up, let alone the radiation and the whatever. I mean, who
Mhm.
knows what these things are doing? Uh, that's something that I would like to do on a federal level, is actually
Yeah.
have a team go into these
Yeah.
things and really get the scientific
Yeah.
breakdown of what is
Oversight.
harmful to people. Oh, I mean, basic oversight,
Right.
really. I don't want to expedite these things, right? I want to
Yeah.
really look at
Yeah.
what we're putting in these places. Whether it's the noise, whether it's the radiation, the contamination of the water. So what I'm trying to figure out is the pathway of the water. I think it goes water to half of it goes to data center, and then they
Mhm.
might try to, like, clean the water and give it back or something. I don't know. But what I'm
Mhm.
trying to see is, like, why don't we go the other way? Why don't we give it to the
Yeah.
people first and then take the runoff and
Mhm.
give it to whatever the data centers need? Why do the data centers need
Yeah.
purified water? And if they do, can we have a system set up so that they can get that and we're not getting the secondary retreated
Yeah.
runoff, right?
Yeah.
So it's
Not
it's
voluntarily
on
kill people.
Yeah.
right. Well, that's the thing. It's like, how many, we're going to see in 10 years or
Yep.
less a commercial. Do you have
Yep.
mesothelioma or something?
Yes.
Do you live in Tennessee by this data center that
Yep.
Elon has? Do you live in Georgia where
Mhm.
these things are coming up?
Oh,
And that,
it's
it's
happening.
not going to
They're
shock me. It's not going to shock me, unfortunately, if we start seeing cancer rates rise in these areas, right? And why
Absolutely.
my biggest thing is, I've been asked before, what if a corporation, handed you $1 million check and said this, that, and the other? I'd rip it up in front of them and tell them to FO. Like, I don't care. You
Yeah.
don't pay me. My constituents, I work for my constituents.
Mhm.
I don't work for you. So
Yeah.
sorry,
Not making a deal with the devil.
not making a deal. Nope. I've
No.
seen how that goes. I've seen even one
Seen
little
many of
stray
them.
away get used against people. Why don't you just run a basic moral campaign?
And those donors always come to collect. They will
Mhm.
always come to
Yeah.
collect.
I don't want to be holding to anyone,
Yeah,
Yeah.
no.
Yeah.
just my
Yeah.
constituents.
Yeah, that wouldn't help with what I'm about to ask you. So, what type of education policy would you try to bring to the floor specifically around special ed? Because we know these donors don't want people to know shit about
Mhm.
shit.
So that's something I will look into a little bit more. Uh, I have I have two children right now. Oh, that's all I have. I have two children, and I have they both have varying levels of autism. So my daughter, my youngest, has a little bit greater needs than my son does. So this sort of hits us a little bit at home.
Mhm.
My son goes to a Title I school as well. That's sort of all education related. And so we've seen firsthand what an underfunded school looks like and how that is passed on to the children's experience, right? We've had teachers at our school just quit left and right. And this is
Yeah.
kindergarten. I mean,
Mhm.
there's kindergarten through 8th grade, right? It's a normal school, but these are some of the people for my kid, right? And so we're seeing that these programs are underfunded. It's seemingly, at least, or at least maybe not structured well. And they not only that, we have things like the Department of Education going completely away, and we're seeing firsthand what having state sponsored education does, and especially in places like Oklahoma when they were trying to put up the 10 Commandments, which is a
Yes.
complete
Mhm.
violation of separation of church and state. And they're trying to normalize things like that when you might have someone who's Hindu or who's Muslim or who's Jewish who doesn't see those as the
Yeah.
same literature as some other folks do, right?
Yeah.
And so, honestly, what I would try to do is just fully fund the Department of Education again. I would try to, I mean, why are we here? Why do I? It should be so
Fund
much
you.
higher. It should be so much higher. We need to fully fund. I think universal pre-K would be very beneficial. I think
Ooh.
fully funding K through 12 programs. I think as well certain public school, if we can afford it, if we can pull the money from these corporations and actually get this country to work for the bottom 99%, I think we can do a lot of great things for this
Okay.
country that have been stifled by political BS
Yeah.
for
That'd be
decades.
awesome.
Yeah.
You know?
That'd be awesome. That
I
sounds so good.
yeah, I truly believe that people don't understand the process of defunding and dismantling the Department of Education, and
It's
people
so
think
detrimental.
that, "Oh, it's not gonna hit right away," but they don't understand how fast it actually took effect. Like, where
Hmm.
we saw
And it
this,
did.
especially in smaller areas, we saw, school lunch, the free school lunch program
Yeah.
go away in a lot of areas, and a lot of it silently. We are watching special education programs completely be dismantled because, like you said, the teachers aren't getting support they need. They're not funded. They can't get paid. They're not going to work. Or supplies that they need. There are certain supplies
Hmm.
that special education programs need. They are different. They are different than your standard classroom. So they need more.
Oh yeah.
They can't get those things, then those programs don't run properly. And then just if they go to the states, to your point, as a parent, you have to ensure that the state is making sure that everyone in that school is taking care of your child and wants the
Hmm.
best for your child. We already know that's a problem, especially in special education programs. So there needs to be oversight, and it's harder in red states
Yeah.
like Oklahoma to make sure that what is happening when you drop your child off at that school and picking them up
Mhm.
is above bar at all times.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that they're not being indoctrinated by,
The 10 commandments on the wall.
which is like a lot of people grow up like I grew up Catholic and that's fine, but like I would never want to see that at a school because it's completely separate, right?
Teaching them to
It's the
feel left
country's
out at a young
right.
age.
Yeah,
It's
It's for
just wrong.
obedience.
Yeah,
it is.
it
It
is.
is.
It's crazy. And another issue that we're seeing is health insurance. And you spoke a little bit on this being in the film industry and knowing people close to you that are struggling, being able to choose to
Mhm.
pay for their health insurance or put food on their table. So, can you speak to the difficulties of having to seek out medical care without health insurance? Because I think a lot of people are in that boat.
Absolutely. So what I will say is, we lost my insurance because there wasn't enough work. And you need in the union that I'm in, you need a certain amount of days or hours in order to qualify for health insurance. So we ended up losing it on the move out here. And then we had to go into Cobra, which was we had a newborn. That was our second
Oh,
child. And it was
Yeah.
$2,600 a month.
yep.
So for like 3-4 months, we were paying that. I mean, that was more than our rent, and we didn't have that. We had just moved basically.
Yeah.
We were just moving in, so that alone was a nightmare, and that sort of led to a little bit of a financial pitfall for us.
Yeah.
Then we got it back because I was able to work a little bit more out here, but then the strikes happened and things got really bad, and I was able to work a little bit before then, so it accumulated. But, I've been without for 6 months, and honestly, I just try to take as good care of myself as I can. My wife is fortunate enough to have employer-based health insurance, but pricing it out for adding me was more than double, so I was just like, for
Mhm.
now, we'll be okay." And luckily, my kids are on Medicaid, so there are a couple things kind of working in our favor, but what I will say is if you just need to see like a primary care physician or something and you don't have like, major issues, I would recommend, and I have a healthcare advisor as well that I've been speaking with in my district. And he was even talking about, I think it's direct primary care. Have you guys heard of have you heard of this program?
I haven't.
No.
No.
So direct primary care is essentially like a clinic, and these are like nationwide. You can look them up, and I think there's a website that has, you can type in your zip code and it'll give you all the ones in a radius. And so essentially what it is you pay like a monthly subscription fee, right? And so you pay it directly to the clinic, and then you have as much access as you need from your primary care physician, right? So if you just need a normal med refill, or just a doctor to get a physical, or what have you, depending on what clinic you're at and what rating they are that you like, the rates might be anywhere from like $75 a month to a couple $100 a month. And that's a lot easier of a pill to swallow
Yeah.
than someone either facing Cobra, or facing no insurance but needing that, or facing, the ACA, which who knows what their rate is at this point.
Yeah.
Higher than before. So
Yeah.
I would recommend checking those out, but honestly, just try to take care of yourself as best you can. I don't really have any other solution. I've just been praying every day that I don't get sick, or that I don't have a fall that's not at work.
Right?
And
Something.
we need to correct that. I
We
do
have
also want
to.
to point out, though, you did what a congressperson does, provide resources,
Resources.
and people don't know that.
Yeah, that is true. And that's why we need
Boom.
to vote in our primaries and vote in the midterms and make sure we're getting people in that want to fight for universal health care at the very least.
At the
I
very
mean,
least.
I feel like that should just be across the board. But obviously, to your point, having to choose between health insurance and putting food on the table for your family, most people are going to choose to put food on the table for their family. So
Yeah.
there are a lot of people that are in your boat that were like, I just am going to take care of myself and hope that nothing happens and that I don't have to go to the doctor because I'm going to choose food.
Yep.
Yeah.
And that's just a really sucky situation to be in.
It is. And for anyone, whether you're, 20 years old or 40 years old, or,
Mhm.
60 years old, it doesn't really matter. I mean, when you have a plan in your head, or when you're on your path in your life, and then this, that, and the other happens, one little pitfall could be the end of your normal existence, right? And you could lose, as soon as you get behind on something, you could lose your health insurance, you could lose, another bill, and then everything just adds up. It's just, the system is designed against people that are working to make everything work. And that's unfortunate. It should be the other way around.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I love that you're saying this, because I'm trying to beat it into people's heads now. I'm like, they're like, oh, well, we can't just, keep relying on the system. It doesn't work. We need to get away from the system. I'm like, the
Fix the
system
system.
doesn't work because you guys are lazy and you are electing the Nepo babies who have never worked a day in their life. Why don't you electing the person who is literally like you, who is saying these things like you, like, yes, I have gone without health insurance before. I have gone through periods where I'm not working. That's
Yeah.
who you need to elect, not the person who has, I don't know, fucking 3 million just chilling in the
Yeah,
savings. They
absolutely.
don't know anything about you.
I've done Uber. I did Uber one time. The dude's coming out. Sorry, I'm comfortable with you guys. It's California dudes coming out. So, I've done Uber.
Yeah.
And one of the days my alternator blew when I was doing an Uber. It was like or it might not have been Uber. That might have been Uber Eats, but I've done all those things. And it was like, the alternator was like $1,000. And it was
Yeah.
like, that was like 2 weeks of work for that, right? I can make that easily on set, but that's more sporadic. But for what I was doing, I just wanted to just give up at that point.
Yeah.
And it's like,
Seriously, like,
it's crazy.
between
It's like, do you
delivering
think Jared
food or like,
Moskowitz knows that plight?
right. Seriously.
No.
And you look at some of these people that have been in office since the 80s or the 90s, and you're like, when's the last time you even bought eggs?
Yeah.
Like, do you
Not
even
that
go to the
eggs are
store?
like, well, eggs are always eggs are funny to me, because like eggs, they fluctuate a little bit. I think creamer should be the new thing. I think if
Yeah,
you're creamer, like, because I'm not lactose intolerant, but with dairy creamer, it just doesn't sit that well. But like oat milk, I love oat milk creamer. That's just like $6-7 sometimes, though, depending on where you're going, and that's
granola.
insane. Sorry, what?
Granola I have had to
Granola is another thing.
stand in the aisle and look at the prices of each granola, and all of them bad. All of them bad. I'm looking at my husband who eats Greek yogurt and granola every day. Like,
Oh,
just have
Not today. You got to.
eggs.
So we're having Eggos this week.
Like, I mean, I have to imagine your constituents have told you that they are just at the grocery store now, and they're spending way too long because you have to stand there now.
Yeah.
And if you're just choosing to even, get certain groceries, because sometimes it's just a hard no, but picking up each meat and looking at the weight so that you could save
Yeah.
like 50 cents on the chicken breast.
Spin
that you
I don't need the
found.
full pound. Give me the 0.88.
I'll be fine.
Like the other day, I
I
was
won't notice
getting
it.
a steak. I don't even know why I walked over there. I don't know why I walked over there and looked, 'cause my feelings were immediately hurt. Like, it's just
Yeah.
like
And that
that.
shouldn't be that way. Like, right? Like,
Mhm.
we all work. We're all doing what we have to do, but prices keep going up and wages aren't going up, and we just get trapped. And what are they? I don't even want to know what the end plan is, but I feel like I've gotten pretty close to there. It's like, what are people supposed to do?
Yeah.
You know, how much can you sacrifice from your daily life before you're just a hermit?
Yeah, you're doing a 9 to 5 and then a 5 to 9 at the grocery store, picking up each item and looking
Yeah.
at the price. Like, that is our other
Crying on the
job. Like, we
inside.
should be clocking in at the grocery store because we're spending so much. Like, I know I'm looking around, I'm looking at everyone. Everyone is standing in the aisle just looking at the prices. I see you
Coffee's the
all.
worst. Coffee's the worst,
It's
actually.
just absolutely insane.
Folgers is like my base.
Mhm.
Like, but now I might consider Maxwell House or U-Ban. I don't know. It's getting to that point.
We've hit the Maxwell House
I
part
might-
of the fascism.
of life
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's just
of my
that's gotta
30s.
stop. It's just that is
Well,
insane.
while we're on the topic of everything being super out of price range, what are your top 3 priorities when you get in?
Top 3 priorities are figuring out a way to get Medicare for all. I think universal health care, like you were saying. I think there's so many candidates out there that agree with the same thing, the same baseline, that we all deserve it. There's no reason we should be paying another mortgage or another rent note or car note
Mhm.
for insurance when you just want to go and like see if you didn't break your sprint or sprain your thumb. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
Shouldn't go into debt for that. So that's
Yeah.
my number one. Number 2 would be really just accountability in general for Congress and folks in office. And that looks like a lot of things, actually. So that looks like term limits for Congress, for Senate, for SCOTUS. That looks like adding 4 more judges so that we have a 1-to-1 ratio on the SCOTUS judges to circuits. That also has, so my plan for that is, and this can fluctuate because I think there's a lot of give and take here, but 6 terms for House, that's 12 years. That could be 9, whatever, and then
Okay.
3 terms for Senate, and then 18-year SCOTUS term. And how that would be with 13, if we kept it at 9, it would be easy for 18, but with 13, your 26-year term sounds like a lifetime term.
Yeah.
So I think if you were to do like roughly every 16 to 17 months, regularly picked by whoever's the current president at that time, or
Mhm.
elected, and I'm happy to go the elected route as well.
Yeah.
But it would be around 16 to 17 months. So that way it's regular, right? And
Yeah.
we know when we're getting change. We know when we can look for that and be ready for that. And then
Hell yeah.
my third thing I would do, I mean, this is the biggest one. And, I'm going to get a lot of pushback from when we win the primary and when we go to the general. And this should have actually been number one because I'm part of a coalition, but it's to impeach, convict, and
Yes.
remove Donald J. Trump. Yeah.
Yep.
We cannot
Oh.
have accountability across the board until we get rid of this guy. We cannot have accountability until we actually hold the top dog accountable for all the heinous shit he's done
Mm-hmm.
while
said
in
the magic
presidency
words.
and 40 years ago
Yes.
and everything in between.
I truly this is why Devin and I have said like we cannot be in office because we would be in there in full vengeance. I mean,
Title IX
the
every day.
Nuremberg trials every day. We wouldn't rest until like you'd be sick of us. And so like we know in our hearts we are too full of petty and venge.
Yeah. We're too crazy.
Revenge
We're too crazy for Congress.
that people need to go into office because we actually need to fix things and do like universal
Yeah.
health care. It's just that
Yeah.
I know if we went in there, it would just be every day would be new articles of impeachment until
Yeah.
Mhm.
every day. I'll
Mhm.
find something every day. trust.
But to that point, you can literally do that. You can have like there's like unlimited. You can have these articles like out. Like I
Unload
said,
the
I'll be
clip.
at least there in there weekly.
Yeah, no,
Play the clip.
I would have been there every morning, 8 a.m. I
Yeah.
found something.
It's me again.
It's me.
Come on, guys.
Here's another
It's
one.
time.
There's
Hey,
another
guys, it's
one.
time to vote.
Yeah, it's just like that in of itself. And I can't wait because, like you said, almost all the candidates, obviously all the grassroots candidates, but a lot of the candidates running in the Democrat party want universal health care and know that needs to be a top priority. So I can't wait for all of you to win and go in. And all of the
Yes.
MAGA politicians who somehow are still there are just watching you guys as you just walk in and universal health care. And they're like,
Do
no,
it.
no, they're going to do it. They're going to do it.
This was supposed to be over 12
No.
years, not
You
2
guys
months.
got here.
How are we going to get the cut from the pharma corporations?
just-
No.
Sorry, corpse.
Oh my God, they're doing what they said they were going to do. You can't do that in politics. You can't do what you said you were going to do.
This is
This is so bad.
That's another part of accountability in Congress is I want to get rid of. So it's not even trading, because someone brought up a good point the other day to me on set. It's really buying. Because if you have it, like if you have a portfolio and it tanks, I don't want you to lose everything. I don't. That's not fair. You should be able to sell it whenever you need to sell it. Rebuying, no. And I'll give you an option though. I'll give you a totally secondary option. Either we get rid of buying stock for folks in Congress and the presidency, including crypto, and or you have to report it publicly within 24 hours.
Yes.
You have choices. Your choice. Do you want to keep doing that and then everyone can trade like you, or just get rid of it and do the right thing and not be
fine? We'll put it on FEC.
Yeah.
Yes, within 24 hours. Available to the public.
And the thing is, it'll be like I'm talking like massive fines. None of these like cost of doing business fines. Like no, it's going to be like a weekly, like your weekly check.
It's coming out.
Ooh.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yes.
$4,000 a week, whatever. If you're late or per day. I mean, whatever. I don't care. That's how we need to work it though.
Immediately, I'd apply to the fines department. Let me sit there.
You're hired. Yeah.
Yes, and fine each and every one of them.
12:01 a.m.
I'd
That's
love
Send them the bill.
Job security.
You would love it. I would be the collections of Congress. They're like, oh my God, Casey's calling again.
I would flip the script. I'd be like, it's me calling now, and I'm not getting called. It's time to pay up.
You got to pay your $1,000 fine.
Did you report your buying? No. Okay.
Hope it was larger than your fee.
Your paycheck is negative. You actually owe us money this week. Like that.
And then we would have a separate fund that helped the people and the normal, like everyday citizens.
And then it goes
straight out of your pocket.
Pay for universal health care with the fines alone.
Oh my God, yes. See? Those are the priorities we need in office.
We're already fixing shit.
Yep. Already fixing it.
So
universal health care, accountability for everyone.
And that's everybody's answer every time.
So I will say one of those things, and this might have been a question or not, but one of the ways that I'm considering funding all that is, number one, is just because it's so stupid and it's done so well in other states, but legalizing and taxing cannabis. I think it would do so much better for everyone. Get people out of jail for stupid petty offenses. No one wants to be in jail for 3 weeks for a joint. Like, it's stupid. It's
ridiculous.
It's silly.
It's stupid.
It's dumb.
And that alone, I mean, we've seen how many billions of dollars California raked in, and that's just one state. You have Seattle, you have West Virginia. I have a friend running for Senate in West Virginia. He says their surplus is huge, but it's one of those things where, because it's federally illegal, a lot of banks won't touch it. So they just have this surplus that they're sitting on that no one can take. And so I think if we legalize and tax it, we would undercrowd the overcrowded prison system, and we would have a lot more money that we can put towards other things. And on top of that, one of the other things I want to do is, it's not necessarily even taxes, but it is like a micro tax on transactions. So what I want to do is I don't want to get tax money at the end of the year. because by that point they've written off everything in the tax book, right? They've written off their yacht, they've written off their helicopter, whatever. So I mean, I would love to fix that. But again, it's one of those things where we can totally fix that, or we can go my route, which is every single transaction for any company over $1 million in a calendar year, every single transaction after that point gets taxed at a 0.05 or 0.1% tax.
Fuck yeah.
There is, and it sounds like, it doesn't sound like a lot, but that's kind of the point, is to get them to say, well, that's nothing. That's not a lot. There is a company, I forget, it's a 3-letter company. They deal with transactions, and they do $21 trillion of transactions every single day. So can you imagine a 0.1%, even 0.05% tax of that?
That's the universal healthcare.
Literally
right there. Because what they're gonna, you can hide taxes, you cannot hide transactions, right?
Yeah.
And so I've gotten some piqued interest on that a little bit. It's something that,
I thought you were about to say pushback. I was gonna say, excuse me.
No, I mean, no, but like people really like the idea, because you know, at the end of the day, they're like, well, just tax them more. It's like, well, the problem is they can get taxed to oblivion, but they have 1 million write-offs. So it doesn't. They're still going to say claim zero or $750 like Trump did. So we have to fix that, you know.
Fucking asshole.
And if we can have some sort of a wealth tax on things, and again, just a small percentage, right? Anything that moves, any moving fee, whenever art moves, whenever stocks move, whenever crypto moves, whenever anything of value moves, there's a micro tax on it, right?
I just feel like that.
You're saying all the magic words.
I don't think there should be any pushback on that.
There better not be.
Well, the thing is, will it work, right? I'm not a lawyer. I'm just a guy who thinks a lot. He has a lot of shower thoughts.
Hey, we're doing all the random shit right now. Why not? Like,
hell yeah.
We're naming airports after Trump. Why the fuck not? Like,
why the fuck not?
He's
so what?
Tariffs on everything. I mean, sure.
None of those make sense.
Tariff on millionaires and billionaires. Sure.
Yeah.
How dare you?
Yeah, I mean, I'm all down and all game for it. And
hell yeah.
In order for that to happen, people have to go out and vote. They have to vote for you. But we have witnessed a lot of people, and I'm sure you're seeing it online because you're on social media, that a lot of people, they don't know if they're going to vote anymore. They think the system's corrupt. They think this is BS, and they're not buying into it anymore. So what would you say to somebody in your district that is not sure if they're going to vote?
I would say voting is a numbers game. It absolutely is. As much as we want to look on like a presidential election, that is completely different than a congressional election, right? As far as I know, I don't think there's an electoral college for Congress. I'm pretty sure that's just for the presidency. I could be wrong. That would be news to me. I hope not, like you said.
Not yet.
But that's one of the things that people need to really take into account. And it's not just a midterm election. The primary is probably the most important of the election cycle, of the elections this year, right? The general is who you're stuck with. The general is whoever was not voted against or voted for a lot versus another person, right? So whoever gets the most votes, whether people vote or not, it's a numbers game. If you get the most votes on the Republican ticket out of 3 or 10 candidates, you're going to take that. Same thing on the Democratic side. So if you want to see change, then look at your primary contenders, because those are the people right there, especially in this early time when they're very vocal and really just trying to get to as many things as they can. Learn who they are, dig into their resume, dig into them, just have a conversation with them if you can. You know, if they're not, DM them. Seriously, just ask them a question. It can be off the record. What is your stance on this? What would you do with this? You know, and just talk to them. And the more, you know, I would say most of the people you'll be able to find, whether it's, you know, directly from their campaign website or just online, just general online presence. And so I would say, yeah, the biggest thing is to get out and vote for who you want to see in the general, because unless you get out and vote in the primary, you're stuck with whoever got the most votes. And if you have no say in that, then that's on you. And I'm sorry. And we saw that in places like Marietta, Georgia, where they had a mayoral race, and a younger Black Democrat, I think he was like 22 or 23, very young, very well outspoken. And he only lost by like 80 votes or something like that. It was so close. We were so close to taking. And Marietta is not in my district. It's it's adjacent. But we didn't see the swing that we saw in places like Roswell, where we have a Democratic mayor. So we were so close in Marietta. And again, all it took was maybe like 88 people to show up and vote.
This is why
it's so close.
That pisses me off.
There's no.
We were so. He was ahead. We were watching it. We were watching it at a party, and he was ahead. And we were like, we saw the shift, and then we were just like,
I would have crashed. I would have turned to Trump. Fine, be 86.
I need you to find me 80 votes. Stop the count.
I don't care what you got to do. It's just you got to do it.
That's exactly.
God.
I would have absolutely crashed out. But you are correct. It's a numbers game, and you want to see change. If you don't like what you're seeing, the only way, people aren't going to believe what I'm saying, but it's the truth. The only way we're getting out of this is if we vote our way out of this. And it's happened before in the past. We have voted our way out of dictatorships throughout history. We can do it again. But if we're going to all of a sudden turn up the moral police and say, I'm not voting till the system's fixed, then the system will never get fixed. So we're putting patches right now. Okay. The patches are getting our grassroots candidates into office so that they can take apart what has been ruined. And then we can talk about rebuilding and putting term limits and making sure that the Nepo babies of politics get out, making sure all the MAGA politicians get it, making sure MAGA never happens again.
Yeah. It's like,
we can't do that with what we have in office.
We can't have now. Civil War 2.0 aftermath, like where everyone's just like, yeah, just come on back to normal life. It's fine.
Like, we're only getting through with violence, and all of us are like, do we have to? Like, that's not necessary. We could.
I'm like, okay,
vote our way out, and they're like,
you don't have. Like, no, we have to make Molotov cocktails. It's the only way. And I'm like,
learn, but you don't have to do that right now.
I'm like, and then what?
Right. Well, the primaries are coming up, and there might even be an opportunity for someone to challenge a Republican candidate, right, in their primary, and then you might not even have. I don't know when they get out of. I guess they would just get out. They would just walk out, still on the same day that everyone else does. But if they lost their primary before their term was up, right, then they're not even in the general. That's kind of gonna be weird.
But that's what we want to see. We want to see that.
I would be happy to see that.
Republicans, more progressive Republicans go up against the MAGA politicians. So we might see other Republicans win the primaries because
it's possible.
There are some, Republicans that still always want to vote red, and they're just going to vote for the non-MAGA option, even though in our eyes, they're this
kind of one of the same,
one of the same.
There's
but to each their own. But anyone who's not MAGA is the lesser of evils at this point. So they can make it through to the general election, but then we got to beat them in the general election.
But that's the thing too, is like there is the runway to the primary, and there's a lot of states that are going to their primaries in March. So I mean, really, the fight's already started, but that's when it's like it's starting to become crystal clear that there could be change, right? If we take the House back and we take the Senate, I mean, that would be incredible. But
wow, I would party so hard in the street.
Possible.
I'm literally gonna.
You wouldn't be able to get me off the street.
No.
I would go to a club.
No. Right. I don't even go to a club. I'd go to a club. I haven't been in like 15 years.
Yes. You'd finally go outside again.
Right.
Oh my God. Okay. I'm interested in this answer. If you're running for president, who's your dream VP, living or dead?
Okay. So this was actually a quick one for me. AOC or John oh my God. Why can't I think? No.
He's like,
oh my God. I got to look at my notes. Sorry. I wrote this down earlier. It's killing me. Why the hell did I?
Yawn.
Fetterman.
No. It's not even, he's not even a politician. Oh my God. Jon Stewart. Seriously. Yes.
Stewart. Oh my God.
I was like, no, not. I love Ossoff, but he's more presidential than VP. And Fetterman, you got to go. He's a red coat.
Yeah. In the biggest sense. That's so funny.
No, but like AOC is great because I vibe with her a lot. I know she got a lot of, but I don't know why she got flack. She's a very intelligent woman and she's very well outspoken. But her policies I align with. She doesn't take, Dirty Money, let's just say,
Yeah.
which is great. And then Jon Stewart, because he's been like just such a necessary person
He is
Yeah.
honestly
since Trump. I mean,
Yes. Big first responder advocate.
big advocate for just being a decent human being,
Mhm.
you know.
Mhm. Yeah.
Bring decency
And
to
the
the
fact
White House.
and the fact that he is also an outsider. That's kind of why I had two options, right? AOC's
Yeah.
been for a few years. John is an outsider, but with a lot of insider intelligence as well and knowledge about how things work.
Yep.
So
Mhm.
that could be a huge asset. And I would be happy if,
would-
God forbid, I croaked or whatever and he took over. That'd be great.
Take over.
Oh no!
You're in
Jon
good hands,
Stewart's
bye.
taking over.
Jon Stewart's like,
Have my funeral on Comedy Central and we're good.
it's opener.
I've been arguing with people about Jon Stewart because
About-
I'm like, okay, who do you want to run for president then? And they're like, Jon Stewart. And I'm like, how many times does he have to tell you that he doesn't want to run for president? I'm like,
Just
why are you
wants to
forcing
roast
this
them.
man to do a job that
Yeah.
he doesn't want to
He
do?
Right.
might go for VP though.
I could definitely see Jon Stewart as a cabinet member. Like,
Mhm.
True.
I feel like he would do that. I don't think he'd run for pres. He would definitely be a cabinet member at this point.
Yeah.
Like,
I
out of
mean-
Just
necessity.
an
We have
asset.
Fox News
Something.
anchors as cabinet members, so the bar is literally in hell.
It's so bad.
Easy transition.
Easy.
Yeah.
Easy trans-
They've all been in front of cameras, just
Yeah.
some more liked than others.
The right.
Uh-huh.
I think that he could take over Caroline Levitt's position.
I was just about to say press.
Press secretary.
Oh my
seems
God.
like a great
They'd be the best.
Stewart.
They'd be the best.
Yeah. That would actually.
Tuning into that daily. The
Daily.
Daily Show.
Yeah. The new Daily Show.
Yeah.
This is the Daily Show
John.
reporting from the White House. Yeah.
John, call us. We've got some ideas.
We have ideas. Just talk to us. But on to the hardest question of the night. So we have witnessed these politicians, I can't even say politicians, these cabinet members going to sporting events recently. We've witnessed
Mhm.
JD Vance dropping trophies, getting booed at the Olympics. We just watched Kash Patel, who has, arrested 0 people in connection with the Epstein files and has yet to find Nancy Guthrie, having some beers with the boys.
Yeah.
at the
He's really doing his
Olympics.
job.
So, if you had to, who would you rather attend a sporting event with? Kash Patel or JD Vance?
Is there a third option?
Yes. You're going to get booed relentlessly at one spot.
No
No.
matter
Or
what.
you're going to be probably on a lot of drugs with the other one.
I'm good on both, but definitely not the latter. I feel like Cash would just put a pillow over my head or something
Oh, he was putting drugs in your
in
brain.
some rage. Yeah.
Uh,
I would say
take this.
Vance, but I would have a really special couch in the back so he can.
You're just in
You
the
can
back
go
with
over
your
there.
hood down, just
No, I'd be in the front. I'm in the seats that I paid for. He's in the hallway. Yeah, he's here. You didn't say I had to sit next to him.
I got
that's
you some
true.
special
go
leather.
live to go to the event.
Looks like Erica's pants.
Yeah. I think, I would actually probably pick JD Vance just because, I think I'd probably kill Kash Patel.
I'd feel
I
safer
truly
around Vance
believe
in
in
a
that.
weird way. Like I'm not scared of him. Like I'm just scared of Cash because he's like a loose cannon.
Yeah.
Like,
Podcast.
Those
Yes.
those
There's
eyes
more
when they
than-
go crazy mode.
Yeah, the eyes, him looking at me, I feel like I need to defend myself immediately.
Yeah.
I'd be like, who are you looking
Well,
at?
he's looking at you and then the person behind you
Yeah,
at the
he's
same
looking
time.
everywhere. And
Oh.
he's just, to me, podcast bro energy
Yeah.
just radiates off of him. Everything else aside,
Yeah.
he's a huge red flag, at least with JD Vance. He's going to be more worried about everybody else booing him that I wouldn't even have to talk to him.
Yeah.
So I think you chose what?
It's the right answer. It's the right answer. I guess.
There is a right and wrong.
Yeah. Sometimes, depending on it, there's a right and wrong answer.
Yeah.
All right. So when you win, we're gonna come down. We got a couple people in Georgia. We're piling up now. What's your hidden gem in Georgia that we would hit up?
So I'm a little impartial. This is going to be a shout out for a company that I work. It's a
Ooh.
barbecue place, and I'm big on barbecue. I
Hey.
mean, I we had Blood
sold.
Sows in LA, and I forget actually where the main chef was from. It was somewhere in the South, I believe. I forget which style it was, but we loved it. And then as soon as we moved to the South, we are like, we have to find a good spot. And so I ended up working on a commercial for Jim and Nick's. And they're a chain.
Okay.
They're a chain out here, but I think it might only be in Georgia. And there's like maybe 2 or 3 or 4 locations. But I did a commercial for them, and we had their food, and it was delicious. The vibe was just great. The
Nice.
people were amazing that worked behind the scenes. The people that worked at the place were great. Um, and you can find one in my district, which is amazing. So up in Cumming, Georgia, yes, the one spelled silly, in Forsyth County, there's a Jim and Nick's. And so my wife, my whole family and I, we went way up north to one of our northernmost counties for like a holiday thing. There wasn't really much to eat on the way back, and we kind of wanted to get closer back into town. So my wife was driving, I was looking everything up, and I was like, there's a Jim and Nick's right there. Let's just go to there. And so we went there again, and it was just a great time. Something in district that I know and that I had the opportunity to work with. It was like a week-long shoot or something.
Nice.
Got to do a little shout out to them.
Of course.
You had me at barbecue.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm big on a barbecue.
We're going to be eating when we go to the South.
Yes.
I think we're going to be eating. Eating and
gotta hit the squat rack again.
Yeah. We have to prepare ourselves for the South, because literally every candidate's like, this barbecue place, this moonshine.
Is it heavy on barbecue in the South?
Barbecue.
That's great.
Heavy.
Moonshine, that's funny. I got to try that one.
Yeah, and I'm like, oh my God, the South's going to be just like a fever dream.
The South will rise for its own reason, so it'll rise for barbecue and moonshine.
It's going to turn into just who's got the best barbecue. Like, we're going to go completely off script of politics and turn.
They were like, are you guys food bloggers?
It's just, and it's taken a turn, because I feel like when we started, a lot of people were like, oh, this like national park or this beach.
Yeah.
And it was a lot of like locations, and then all of a sudden it turned to food, and we haven't strayed from food or drink since. I don't remember the last time somebody was like, oh, like I'll take you to this like hole in the wall, like hot spring or something. Like everyone's like, barbecue, this specific barbecue place.
So I have the perfect, now that you said that, I have the perfect like scenery for this. Okay. So up the street from me, still in my district in Roswell, Georgia, there is an old mill it's still there, and it's like, it might be a historical thing, but there's like a waterfall kind of, and it's like a hiking trail next to it. And so there's a bridge, there's an old, like a big wide wooden bridge that goes over the waterfall, and you can go down, you can go up. There's so many different ways. Like if you go up, then you'll get to the top of the water where the waterfall is. So you'll see all the chill water and then the waterfall. And then if you go further down, you can actually go kind of into the springs and the little creek and stuff. And I can just see now, just sitting on the side there on a nice, what would it be? Well, I wouldn't want to do it in January. So let's say like end of March, couple months into the wind, and we're eating our Jim and Nick's. Yep.
Waterfall barbecue.
With our moonshine on the side. Hey.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. Perfect.
We're gonna have a side hustle as food bloggers.
Food bloggers.
Food-lusional.
Yeah.
Food.
We're gonna be,
You're welcome. Have that one. That's on me.
It's
royalties to Case for Congress, please.
On that. It's just another thing
to my campaign.
No expertise in. Like when everyone's like, "Oh, do you guys come from politics? Did you guys go to school for political science?" And we're like, "No." Like, what are your qualifications? Done.
We care. I
just start yelling at our phones.
Just yelling, and it's working. So we're gonna do the same thing with food blogging. We're like, "What are your qualifications?" I don't know.
We all got to eat.
I'm hungry. That's what.
That's our spin-off series.
It's Tuesday at 1:30 and I'm starving. I don't know.
I don't know what you want from us. We're food critics now. Okay.
God, an illiterate can become the president. Get off my back.
Yeah, the bar is in hell. Okay?
For real.
You two can just wake up one day, do politics, and do food blogs at the same time.
It's really easy. Believe in yourself.
Absolutely.
Believe in yourself. Be the change you want to see.
Well, Case, thank you so much for taking some time onto the Blue-Lusional podcast and speak with us about your policy and your campaign. Guys, like Devin said, and like Case said, it's primaries like right now until like the end of August. So basically for the rest of this year, there's going to be elections. So you guys need to know when your primaries are. When is the primary, Case?
It's a great question. So the primary for Georgia kind of all around is May 19th. We have a third candidate in our running, so there's a possibility for a runoff. And that just is what it is. So we'll see. I think that's in June.
Okay. May,
So
June, guys.
May,
May,
June. May
Lock
19th,
in.
get the dub, push through,
push through.
get the
Let's
dub in
go.
November.
Early
Oh
voting.
yeah.
Early vote if you can. Yeah.
Go on day of, whatever you got to do, guys. But number one thing, check your voter registration before. Do not wait till the last minute to do that. They're doing things. They're being sneaky.
Mm-hmm.
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 You know, where you're supposed to go
Polling.
vote. Go to your polling location. Do not let them turn you away. Know your rights, all of that.
Mhm.
You know, just make sure you're in the know. And if there's any crazy things happening, you let us know. You let us
Yep.
know what's going on.
Just tell us.
Just tell us. We will figure it out.
Hit us in the comments.
If it's happening in Case's district, you let him know what's going on.
Right.
Okay? You contact him and his team. But
Please.
like May seems like it's a month away. That just raised my blood pressure. So I am anxious.
Mm-hmm.
Literally gonna be anxious for the rest of the year. But
Yeah.
it's a good anxious.
Yeah.
It's just like the feeling of change is happening, guys.
Mhm.
We're literally in primary season right now, and we're already looking at early polls showing that this is just going to look like a lot of progressive candidates getting through onto the big ticket in November. And the way to do that is to vote. So please, guys, voter registration, know when your primaries are, vote often, vote early.
Research
That's all
your
we got.
candidates.
Yeah, research your candidates.
Doesn't have to be me. Research your
Yeah.
candidates. So whoever they are, make sure they
Yes.
align with your values. Do what
Your
you gotta do.
values. Okay.
They
Your
all have
values.
websites.
Not your sister's values, not your uncle's values.
Not what you think
your
the district
values.
needs, what your
Right.
values are, what you think your state needs, or what you think your state's going to vote for, who
Mhm.
you want to vote for. This is primaries. That's what it's built to do. So make sure you're doing that. And then check back every Thursday. We are still interviewing candidates every week, all the way through to the general election in November. So make sure you're tuning in every week. You might see somebody running in your district. And if you don't, let us know who it is. See if we can get them on. But that's all we've got this week, guys. So make sure you tune in next week for another episode of Chat GRC and have a great
Oh,
day, everyone.
Case,
Oh.
tell us where
Yes.
to.
Oh, yes. Oh, my God. I almost forgot for you to shameless plug. Shameless
plug.
Shameless plug your website and your social so everybody can find you.
So the website is case4congress.com. The 4 is the number 4, so CASE 4congress.com. The socials on TikTok, it's Case for Congress. On Instagram, it's Case for Congress GA. And then on Facebook, it might be, I think it's Case for Congress as well.
Perfect. Go on there.
Beautiful.
Look at all the policies, follow, like, subscribe, do all the things that helps push him out to even
Give him $1.
people. Give him $1.
Just one. I got a district map on my website as well, so everyone can know exactly where they are. I have a list in alphabetical order of
Nice.
every town and city, whether it's a full or a
See?
partial. So you should have an idea of based on that.
Perfect. All right, guys.
Easy.
Easy. Do all the things, click all the buttons, give him $1. Easy peasy. All those things in that order. Again, Case,
Yep.
thank you so much for coming on. And we'll
Thank
see
you guys. This was a
everybody next
blast.
week. Have a great night, everyone. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.